Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much, and remember.
I'm joined by first Abdulaziz Suleiman. Abdulaziz Suleiman is the Director General of the campaign organization for ADC. Abdulaziz, thank you for taking the time to be part of the program today. And also we are joined by Dr. Agbo Major, who is the publicity secretary of NNPP. Thank you so much for joining us on the program, Dr. Agbo. And we're also joined by Wale Martins. Wale Martins is the national publicity secretary of YPP. Wale, thank you for joining us on the program. Wale, let me start with you.
Okay.
Midnight today, the ban will be lifted. Politicians will be able to go out. What are we expecting?
Yes, I think it's straightforward. Nigerians have suffered enough for anybody to come and bamboozle them with all kind of empty rhetorics. It's going to be strictly issue-based. Nigerians are interested. They want to know how the issue of unemployment will be addressed. They want to know what is your take on restructuring of this country, because it's long overdue. The Nigerians want to know, how do you intend to address the rate of poverty, insecurity that is currently ravaging the land. These are issues that we brought to the fore, not empty campaign promises that are utopian, that cannot be achieved in this present time. People will interrogate, they will ask questions. They will also want to see blueprints on how you intend to solve, these problems. So yes, going forward, I think we want to see how issues can be addressed practically. We want pragmatic solutions. Not saying I will create 3 million jobs. How do you intend to create these jobs? Not saying I will end insecurity. What are these practical steps you will take to end insecurity? Not that Nigeria will be an El Dorado by 2027. How do you intend to take Nigeria to that point? So I think these are the issues that will be bothering on the minds of Nigerians.
All right, Dr. Agbo, your party will be building on some of the legacies of this government, or it's going to be serious departure from what this government has built? What will you be campaigning on?
There are no legacies to build on as far as this government is concerned. It's a clear departure from what we've had in the past 4 years, let's say 3 years and about 7 months or thereabout, which hasn't given us any headway. As you can see, like my colleague has just said, you are afraid to go even 5 kilometers, across parts of this country. It has never been that bad, They are unable to police us. They are unable to provide security for us. You can imagine our children, your children, my children that are still at home after so many months. In fact, I took my daughter for screening in a university, a private university, and they said, look, the public universities have 2 pending admissions to conclude. What a fate, what a terrible situation for, the younger ones. So there is no legacy, as far as we are concerned, that we would want or would be eager to want to build on. What we want to do is a clear departure from what is sustainable now, a clear departure, a clear definition of what the country should be. Our economy must be brought back into life, Our educational system has to be back to those glorious old days that you are aware of. In the past, Nigerians found it very comfortable traveling by road, but now, before you can live here for Akure, for instance, you have to fly. Ordinarily by road, this is supposed to be a trip of about 3-4 hours ordinarily.
It does have
huge infrastructure. No roads nowhere. The rails, even the ones we were trying to manage, which is the Abuja-Kaduna rail line, of course, you can see what has befallen it. It's no longer operational because out of recklessness, they allowed innocent people to be taken as hostages. And so the rail operations have been shut down. So I can tell you that there are no legacies as far as we are concerned. If you really believe in making this country move forward. I can tell you that.
How will the African Democratic Congress, being a party, my view now, that is not very well known compared to the other 3 major political parties that everybody's talking about, how will the African Democratic Congress marshal its campaign from midnight of today?
Yeah, I think the ADC, African Democratic Congress, has a well-organized campaign strategy, which is why we have the factors that run in our favor is this belief that we are a minor party compared to the self-professed major parties.
But are you not?
We are
is your party not?
No, nowhere. You see, in the unfolding scenario, Nigerians are certainly tired of the old bankrupt system that has manipulated the entire available activity in the country since independence, if I may say. I think Nigerians want an alternative. Nigerians are yearning for someone who will move them from where they have been, from where they are, to where they ought to be. And that is what we are offering. First and foremost, if you look at even our logo, it symbolizes a handshake, unity. So what we need primarily in Nigeria is unity. But where you have a president calling himself a southern president or northern president, or a party saying it's fielding a northern candidate or a southern candidate, I mean, it's not really a party that wants to unite the nation.
That is a campaign Nigerians do not want. They want issue-based.
Issue-based, that's what we're saying.
Is it about where the president has come from, or is it about the religion of the president or the candidates? Or we deal with the issues confronting the country?
Issues around security, around the economy, and around unity. You see, that's what we are saying. The major parties, as they call themselves, are the ones who are talking about religion and religion. They have all along been debating about religion and religion. But if you look at the parties that are called the small parties.
But do you think this point of discussion is also not important, considering that this country is divergent?
You mean
the issue of what the level of faith or even your ethnicity?
No, I think we should have gone beyond that by now. If for 60 years we still cannot have a Nigerian president, someone we can call a Nigerian president, but rather a regional or religiously inclined president, then it's not worth it. Really, we ought to have gone beyond this. We ought to have had faith in a nation called Nigeria, sure. Which we can structure and restructure if we want. But at the moment, I don't think any talk about restructuring matters, because you don't restructure a structure that is not there. A structure that is not there. So I think we must have to come together first, build a nation, agree we are Nigerians.
Agree that we are Nigerians.
Yes.
Agbo, let me come to you. What are the issues that will be at the center of your candidate's campaign?
First,
from tomorrow.
The paramount thing is security. Once security is in place, every other thing automatically comes into place. If you have security in place, the economy naturally bounces back on its own. The environment where our children go to study in schools, in universities, in secondary schools becomes automatically secured. People are able to move from one point to the other, which will heighten economic activities and then help to bolster, the economic profile of the nation. The first thing is security. Now, if you have security in place, above all, these issues bordered on insecurity, vices, social vices and all of that, people taking to the roads, with weapons to go and waylay innocent people, pick up their monies, their phones and all of that, like we hear of on Lokoja, Abuja, Kaduna, Abuja and all of that every day. These things, because if you have security in place, people would begin to do what is right for them to do. Businesses, even small-scale businesses like barbing and all of that would flourish. And automatically, people's attention will be taken away from these social vices.
Does your candidate have specific strategy? You want to share one strategy?
For security?
Yes,
for security.
Achieving that.
Yeah, we intend to, promote community policing. The whole idea is to take away the responsibility of comprehensively dealing with these security infractions from the security agencies. We will revert to the people. We will take security back to the ordinary people. Let me tell you, no matter how compact a security arrangement is anywhere in the world, it doesn't work except the people are directly involved. The people are primary in terms of information gathering and all of that. That's why they always tell you when you see something, you say something. So the first thing we will do is to take these issues bordering on the security of Nigerians to Nigerians themselves. We will challenge them. You need to secure yourselves. Whatever is the environment you found yourself in, it's important.
Does securing themselves include changing the legislation, the constitution, allowing Nigerians to carry guns?
No. That will bring anarchy. That's not what I'm talking about. The job of Nigerians will be limited to passing across information to the security agencies, whose assignment primarily now will be to process such information into intelligence so that actions could be taken on it. Let me tell you, the policeman that is in my community is not a ghost. He cannot say what is going on there. He's not a spirit. You know, it takes somebody who lives there to be able to give him directions as to what to look out for and all of that in terms of information gathering, which he is expected to process, you know, and make them actionable. So what we will do is not to encourage Nigerians, you know, to go out of their way to create anarchy by carrying weapons of any sort. What we will do is to encourage them subtly, you know, to begin to look around the environment, search around the environment, look for strange faces, look for, you know, unacceptable, you know, interactions.
Will that include employing maybe state, using the service of state police, local government police? Are you going to do something different from what we have now, like the Amotekun?
Well,
in the Southwest,
whether anybody likes it or not, the Amotekun in the Southwest has added value, you know, to the crave to deal with these security challenges in the Southwest. There's no doubt about that. And I've always been a proponent of that, because security is about the people. So what we need to do, I always cite this instance. I am from Benue, for instance. If I'm recruited today as a police officer and I am posted to Sokoto, my ability to deliver is incapacitated, is limited because I'm not familiar with the environment. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
It's great. Let me, Wale. I mean, the young Progressive Party, your candidate, your party's candidate, how much of deliverables has he put in place during these campaigns, measurable deliverables, to attract the needed vote?
Yes. Well, if you know, our presidential candidate is Malik Ado Ibrahim. You know, he's somebody with vast experience internationally, somebody who on his own has done so well for himself. He has been able to break barriers. He has done what no any other black man has done. And up till now, he's still there as a man who owned a franchise in Formula One. So he's somebody with unquantifiable capacity to deliver good governance, having worked also in United Nations. His vast experience in the area of power is something that is highly commendable, and he's been doing that even in Nigeria, and he's been able to tap into our rich natural endowment to ensure that renewable energy is the way to go in times of power. Every now and then you continue to hear about our grid collapsing. In fact, this year the national grid has collapsed 7 times. Fundamentally, the changes will come, first of all, with we need to tinker a little bit with the Constitution, and that is if we must address the issue of power. There's no need centralizing. Why should you centralize it? Why should it not be decentralized? So that, of course, states with capacity can go ahead to generate and also transmit power. And that is what, he intends, to do, to address adequately the issue of power, to also ensure, and he's not just saying it, he's been doing it privately, and it's something that he feels, if given the opportunity, can also be replicated, in the nation as a whole. In terms of leadership, and that is what Nigeria as a country lacks the more. You see, most of the time, yes, we have a problem with the Constitution in terms of how it is and how it limits people's capacity in terms of leaders to perform. However, even within the constraint of this current Constitution, somebody who is visionary can still be able to achieve a lot. And that is what we lack. We've not had leadership in the past. In fact, let's just limit to this Fourth Republic. We've not really had leadership. Yes, maybe the President Olusegun Obasanjo tried his bits, but not as, what we see in other climes. Look at what it took Paul Kagame of Rwanda to be able to transform Rwanda to what it is today. It talks a lot that if we miss it in terms of getting the right leaders, however the ideas are, it will amount to nothing.
So what will be the focus? Is it during this campaign time, will the focus of your candidate be constitutional change, devolution of power, or electricity?
Yes, God bless you. I want you to understand something. The candidate will implement the party's manifesto.
What is the
And in
party?
the heart of our manifesto is the issue of the need to unify Nigerians. And I think if you check our logo, unity, service, and accountability is all it is. If we have a leader that is able to bring this to bear, then you see that naturally most of the agitations will go into oblivion. Now, unity is sacrosanct. If there's no unity, you cannot
food on their table.
Yes, thank you very much. It's until you are united towards a common purpose that you can galvanize Nigerians to be able to address all these other issues you're talking about.
Let me go to
now,
Abdulaziz. I'm sorry. Okay. What is more important to Nigeria, the unity of the country or food on their table?
I really believe it's unity, because even the insecurity that my brother here was talking about, I don't think you can successfully fight insecurity, bring about security, where in a situation where you label crime and criminals in terms of religion, tribe, or region. Where you give crime names, you cover crimes with garbs of ethnicity. I really don't think any method. Any method.
Would you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah. For instance, with the major mistake we committed as Nigerians was when we regionalized or tribalized or sectionalized the issue of Boko Haram insurgency when it started. It was so deep that even the people in Yobe State were under the wrong impression that it was a Borno State affair. This thing went on. It nearly consumed the whole of, I think it consumed the whole of the north, so to say, and the entire north was turned into a battlefront. And now, that's what I mean by ethnicizing or sectionalizing crime. You see, when where we see people, for instance, peddling drugs, we say, is Igbo. Every drug peddler is a criminal. It's an offense. It's peddling, so it doesn't matter whether he's Hausa, he's Fulani. Like what's happening now? The South is under the wrong impression that this banditry is a northern problem alone, which is why we cannot collectively confront it. I used to cite an example of how we confronted this Ebola pandemic. When Ebola came into Nigeria, we fought it as Nigerians, to a point where the then President Goodluck Jonathan was even given an award by the World Health Organization for doing nothing. Nigerians fought Ebola out of Nigeria. But when we say, no, this is, when we vilify certain ethnicities or religion in terms of crime, when we give crimes identity, regional or religious identity, I don't think we are likely going to get to the roots of it. So unless we have unity, like you said, unity of purpose, we are a nation. We move like as Nigerians. We have Nigerian leaders, not regional leaders. You see a situation where
I'm afraid I'm running out of time in the segment.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.